Springtime at Highbury, and the sun shines bright on the title favourites. It shines, however, through one dark cloud. Today, Arsenal celebrate the excellence of Robert Pires, the club's player of the month, whilst cursing their ill fortune at the injury which deprives them of his services from now on in. Still, they count their blessings. Thierry Henry is back from domestic suspension, 5 weeks since his last Premiership goal. David Seaman is back in goal after a brief cup break, and 6 months since number 499, Tony Adams is fit to play his 500th league game against the same club which beat him on his debut. After much pondering, Peter Reid goes full throttle with two strikers, Patrick Mboma and Kevin Phillips, who is repeatedly quashing rumours linking him to North London. Swede Joachim Björklund comes in for his 7th Premiership start at the back. Paul Durkin takes the whistle as a late replacement for the injured Mike Riley. For Arsenal, 2 games in hand are worth much in the title push, but points in the bag are of course worth more. They've won 5 consecutive Premiership games whilst progressing in the Cup, tumbling out of Europe. Sunderland have, in the recent past, though, inconvenienced them somewhat. Here is Edu, Yumba. Darren Williams, and then from Tony Adams on a landmark day for him. Yumba. Wilton. Bergkamp. Vieira. Vieira was a key part of France's crushing of Scotland in Paris this week. Thomas Sorensen played the first half for Denmark in Dublin. Vieira, Bergkamp. Wilton. Bergkamp. Wilton. It's off Bjorkman's head. Henry. Wilton. Thirlwall going back. Vieira! A minute and a quarter. In by Wiltor. Horrible error by Thirlwell. Simple finish for Patrick Vieira, who scores in this fixture for the 2nd year running. He's come all this way, and before 2 minutes past 3, he's behind. McCann. McAteer. Williams. McAteer. Henry. Wilton. Yumba. Deep cross from Freddie Ljungberg. Thierry Henry! Dennis Bergkamp! (2-0) in less than 4 minutes. And whilst Henry and Bergkamp engulf each other in self-congratulation, they won't slow either of them to point out the excellence of the cross, which enabled the Frenchman to tee up an unmissable chance for the Dutchman. Luzhny. Oh, it's a smashing ball. Dennis Bergkamp, and Thierry Henry let it roll in the hope it would get through to Wiltor. It was a dream idea, which just didn't quite come to fruition. Oh, mistake by Campbell, could let in Kevin Phillips here, away from Adams. It's Kevin Phillips. They just aren't going in for him. Before today, Kevin Phillips with 5 games without a goal. He'd seen off Sol Campbell, he'd seen off Tony Adams, he'd even seen off David Seaman. And with plenty to aim at, he missed the target. Now Henry. And then Wiltor, freed and away from Mickey Gray. He's got away with an uncertain moment, to say the least. inside his own penalty area. Rayner. McCann. Phillips. Williams. McAteer, space. And Kevin Phillips. And Niall Quinn couldn't get there. They have had their moments. They could be level. Kevin Phillips having missed a self-created chance. Attempted to tee one up here for Niall Quinn. And he was a stud's length away. Not much more from converting it. Edu. Lushny. Wilton. Henri. Lushny. Edu. Vieira. Bergkamp. And Wilton. Knife through butter. Well might he rue the lack of cover. Well might he grin broadly at the sheer simpleness of the finish. Dennis Bergkamp knew the angle required. Simple, subtle touch from Sylvain Wiltord, and Arsenal are easing away. McCann showed a lot of it to Henri, and it bounced for Bergkamp, and it's through for Thierry Henry. Well closed down by Thomas Sorensen. And it would have been a goal, but for a goalkeeper rescuing Gavin McCann here. Bergkamp's through ball was ideal, but Sorensen made himself into a decent target, and McCann, in fairness, got back too to atone for his error. Edu away from McCann and from Craddock. Here's Ljungberg. Sylvain Wiltord for Arsenal. So good smother by Thomas Sorensen. Ideally timed run by Sylvain Wiltord. Thomas Sorensen had one of 4 flailing limbs in exactly the right spot. Williams. Offside. Edu. Bergkamp. Vieira. Wilson. Lushny. Henri. Away from Bjorkman, Thierry Henry! Drew a save from the keeper. Odd that Arsenal should have scored 3, and that guy has got none of them. But his appetite is undiminished by a 3-game absence from domestic football. Well, it's an odd half. A half of chances taken, chances missed. Arsenal had taken 2 inside 4 minutes, Patrick Vieira first and then Dennis Bergkamp. Sylvain Wiltord added a 3rd right on the half hour, but between times, Kevin Phillips might easily have pulled one back, and he also teed up a chance for Niall Quinn. Sunderland could still be in it, but they're not really. 3-0 down at the break. From outside the ground at half-time is that there were Sunderland supporters who arrived a little late at 3:05, and hearing the score decided not to use their tickets and head off into central London for a better day out. And unsurprisingly, Sunderland have made a change at the break. Tom Butler, only 20 years old, has come on in place of Jason McAteer. Phillips, McCann, Williams. Again towards Quinn. Phillips! Good catch by Seaman. Just might have got a little nick, Kevin Phillips' left-footed drive. Gave it away to Williams. Phillips has time to turn. Quinn ahead of him, Butler with him too. And Gray steaming up from left full back. It's Mickey Gray's cross. Out by Tony Adams, came to Butler. Tom Butler. Audacious enough from the young man, who's never scored a senior goal, Irish under-21 international. Never started a Premiership game. He's prepared to have a curl from distance. Edu. It's a lovely ball. Henry. And Cole! Horrible miscue. From 12 yards, Ashley Cole hit only fresh air. Full wall for Williams. McCann. Drifted towards Quinn. Got off loosely. Phillips. In for Rayner. Claudio Rayner. Good parry by Seaman. And tidied up by Ashley Cole. Back in by Williams. Phillips going up with Campbell. Chased down by Butler. And the flag is up. Just another little glimpse here though for Sunderland. Beautifully weighted pass by Kevin Phillips. Good persistence by Claudio Rayner, who with one touch took Cole out of it. With the second required an upstanding save of David Seaman. Too intricate between Henry and Wilson. Phillips. And Niall Quinn. And Gavin McCann! Stolen away from him. But it is not an exaggeration to say, taking into account Ashley Cole's vital intervention here, and excellent defending it turned out to be. It is not an exaggeration to say that Sunderland have had 4 big chances on the afternoon. Bjorklund is left forward. Patrick Vieira, 3-on-2. Thierry Henry! Of course, he was going to get one. But when he comes out from under his shirt, he'll discover that his one isn't going to count. Seemed to me that he was only level. Craddock. Phillips! The flag had stayed down. He just couldn't keep the volley down. Edu. Henry. He can worry Craddock here. Thierry Henry and Canu! Well, Sunderland might have had 4. Arsenal could equally have had 7 or 8. Canu. Beautiful ball for Francis Jeffers. Nice little sniff for him, a chance to feel his way back into the Premiership scene. Cole. Whatever the others have done, Arsene's Arsenal are still the favourites. Winners here with almost too much comfort. They'd more or less knocked off for the day by 3:05. At that stage, goals from Vieira and Bergkamp already had them 2 up. Wiltor added a third. They might have had several others. Though Sunderland themselves, whose position now is not a pretty one, will rue several misses, most notably in the first half from Kevin Phillips. Tony Adams is back with a vengeance, and he leads a side which looks good as it heads into the final championship straight. Arsenal 3, Sunderland 0. Well, Arsenal, it helps to have done the job by 3:05, doesn't it?
Well, yes, we wanted a quick start and we got it, and then, of course, it was a little bit more difficult to keep the pace up because in our minds maybe it was done, but overall I think we attacked well from the start on and got early goals, and that made a difference today.
How is it to have Tony Adams back amongst you leading the way?
It's very good. I mean, I think it was his 500 match today for the club, and I mean, he's a great leader, and feels good to have him in the dressing room.
We're in a dogfight at the moment. We've got a very important game Monday, but you can't. I mean, we're in a position because we haven't played well. You know, it's up to ourselves to get us out of that position, and that's what we'll be looking to try and do.
And your view of the title race now? Arsenal favourites, rightly so?
I mean, we have great respect for all the other teams, and they're very good. But hopefully we don't slip up. But I mean, I'm going to try to win it, but we know it's very difficult.
How did you feel Arsenal play today? Fairly easy for them, Terry, wasn't it?
Well, it was. 2 goals in just over 4 minutes. Efficiency is the word for them today. They knew the priority was to get 3 points because it's so tight at the top, and that's what they wanted to get. And really, very quickly, it was nearly all over. They had some chances at that time, Sunderland, and but they didn't do it, and that's when they then went on. The game went away from them.
Now, what about the Bergkamp goal? I expect the viewers did what we did when we first saw it. Went offside.
Well, that's
was
right.
it or wasn't it?
Well, I mean, this was funny today because this Ljungberg gets the ball here, cuts the ball back, he flights a beautiful ball over to Henry, and if you just see that in action, it goes in there. There's no doubt they're offside, or were they? Well, there we got it again, and as they flight it across this time, we just stop it there, and you can see he's not offside, neither of them, and we carry it through, and we just see that neither of them were offside, and it was amazing.
The officials did well.
Absolutely.
Got it absolutely bang
That's
on
how
right.
difficult it's getting for linesmen, to be fair. A, to keep up with the play, and when they're there, it's still difficult to get it right.
Yeah. Well, there were examples. Henry was involved in certain.
Well, Henry is
decisions.
just a master with his pace and his timing. He runs along the line of offside all the time. Anybody else will get offside, here, but not him. Here you can see the ball is with Vieira. Henry's running through, and you can see he is not offside, and nothing can stop him. Here we go, except the linesman. He stops him.
Yeah, and should have been a goal, that one.
It was definitely not offside. Here you can see from a longer pass, which is even more difficult for the linesman. It gets flighted in. But he is fractionally offside. And again, he's running along the line of it, and the linesman gives it again.
He got that one right.
He got that one right, and that's what happens to Henry. Some he gets, some he doesn't, and that's what I think frustrates him a lot, because he has got it nearly every time to perfection.
It's an almost impossible job for the linesman, especially when the ball's delivered long, isn't it? They've got to see when the pass is made, see when the guy's breaking.
That's right. Well, that's what they've got 2 eyes for. He's got 1 eye for the man and 1 eye for the ball.
What about Pires? I mean, he was sitting there in the stand. It's very sad that he's missing the rest of the season and the World Cup for France.
Absolutely. I mean, for everybody, for the World Cup, for the Premiership, he's been such a wonderful player. And on that left side, he does that great job of running from his own box. He'll create there. It's passing. It's early passing. His imagination, his finishing, and his link up with Bergkamp, I think, has been.
But they'll miss him, won't they?
Henry, absolutely miss him. Yeah. But they did it in a different way today, where they've got Ljungberg and you've got Wiltor doing the damage in the other end of the field.
Now, Sunderland, Kevin Phillips had 1 or 2 chances today. How do you feel about him? He's on the fringe of the England setup. Possibly won't go to the World Cup. But what about today? I
think he should be in Sven's plans. I think he's a proven goal scorer, and I feel a bit sorry for him this year because he has had. He hasn't had the same partner. He's been great with Quinn, and Quinn, to be fair, as we see here, Adams gets a pass, gets a tackle in. He withstands that, not too without any difficulty. Beats Seaman, and for him, that's an easy chance. He's got a lot of goal to see, and he doesn't make it. You know, it's one of those days where he's getting chances, and it's not quite going for him. Here again, he just gets laid off by Butler. Good wicked shot into the ground, which he does so well, and a good save. Again, another cross. He's linking in and around Quinn. The ball comes to him, he missed it the first time, good feet, and he gets a snapshot in. And of course, the one thing you expect when him and Quinn are around together is that there is an understanding, and you can see that ball lobbed in there, and that's for him, and he doesn't hit it into the ground. That is the easiest of the lot, and you see he just limps off there before the end of the game.
If they lose him for the next few games, they're in big trouble, I would have thought.
They are, Des. I mean, he's got 9 goals this year for Sunderland. The team have only scored 24. They're going to need him back. They're going to get out of it.
OK, thank you very much.